He told us where he wanted it to be. He wanted to be clear on what it should be focusing on. And he envisaged the center as a museum, as an archive. Ambassador, I'll come look for that watch. As a library and as a convening space, not only for himself, but also for other Namibian leaders as well. He managed to work on the idea and the concept long enough to identify some of the people who he wanted. He did indicate some of the people he wanted on the board. But he also indicated he wanted to get more people. And that, unfortunately, is now left to us to decide who those more people are. He outlined his focus areas. So we're fortunate not to be starting from scratch. And the check should have actually been handed over to Professor Kachavivi, who's the chairperson of the center. The other directors who he had spoken to but we hadn't finalized was Dr. George Simata, Advocate Ingela Monica Monica Geingos, Professor Carlos Lopez, Dr. Alfredo Hengari, of course myself, yours truly. So we have constituted ourselves and we will be taking care of the legacy of the late president. An example would be, many of you are asking about the book that is about to be launched by Dr. Audrey Mata on the 6th of February. I want to clarify, it's not Hage's book, nor does it contain his writing. It's a book about Hage, written by Dr. Audrey Mata on his own initiative. Hage was aware of the book and was very pleased with Dr. Mata for taking that initiative. And maybe we should encourage everybody, rather than asking why this book, rather ask yourself, why are you not writing about those who you should be writing about? So thank you, Audrey, in advance for your initiative. So Dr. Mata's book, Hage read the manuscript. He agreed that it be published, and typical Hage, while he corrected the biographical information, and many of you who worked with him, particularly I see Daisy and James and a few of his other advisors, you know that red pen. Boy, you would get some comments on that red pen. So he said, no, he's not going to use the red pen because he won't go into the substance, it's not his book. So he just corrected some biographical information and he declined to add or subtract from the book, as he said it was not his book. George wrote a book of his own life as a public servant, and one chapter focused on Hage. And similarly, Hage read it, he commended George for that initiative, and both gested by Dr. Simata and Dr. Mata really touched him. And I want to thank the two of you for doing it. But the process of reading both those manuscripts, it really triggered a debate within our house about Hage's own official